I'm Shannon, and 6 months after picking up a tennis racket for the first time, I decided it was time to enter a tournament. And luckily, the university that I go to was hosting an advanced players tournament. Ambitious. Yes, that's my middle name. So I had spent the first 6 months working on my stroke technique, getting my serve consistent and consistently in the box. And I was trying to get a bit more power on the serve as well. And at this point in my short career, my serve was a slice, not intentionally, but just as a result of my poor technical application. I also played in club champs, which is an inter-club league where I got abused by old people. However, playing in club champs gave me a lot of match experience. It also gave me some confidence because there were like 3 matches that I won. So I was feeling like I could play some big girl tennis and enter this tournament. The night before, I could barely sleep from both anxiety and excitement. So let's see how my first tournament unfolded. My opponent in round one was a lovely lass by the name of Tia. She and I actually became close friends after this, so shout out to you, Tia. Tia had a slice serve which stayed low and was a challenge for me, but on the other hand, she also didn't like my serve. Going into the match, I knew nothing about my opponent, so I had no game plan. I was just going to fuck around and find out. As with many beginners, a short ball completely took me out. Let's keep this in mind for the rest of the video. The first set was quite competitive, however, I felt that the advantage I had was my serve. It was getting me a lot of free points and helping me win games very quickly. So I closed out the first set with a score of 6-2. The second set was, of course, a new challenge, but I did feel my opponent start to lose intensity, and with that I managed to seal the game and win the second set without too much strife. So, on to round two. But before we go into that match, it is important for me to set the stage. You see, in South Africa in December every single year, all the major universities across the country play a tournament called USA. This is where they come and different varsities play against each other and students get to represent their varsity. This is basically the penultimate tournament for varsity tennis. Now, going into this year, I wanted to make the Wits team so that I could compete at USA. And the girl that I was set to play in this round, Andrea, was the reigning Wits #1. I had never played her before, so I did not know what to expect. But of course, I was so nervous, but also very, very desperate to win this, because if I could beat her, then my chances of making the team were almost like guaranteed. So let's get into this. Much like me, Andrea slices her serve and she plays with a lot of margin over the net. This point encapsulates what it's like to play Andrea. She's very consistent and she never gives up on a point. This is a major change from my last match where most points were 3 balls or shorter. So yeah, the game had definitely changed. And also one thing that Andrea does very well is target your backhand until you make an error. I remember thinking about this match after playing it before watching the recording and being like, wait, is she left-handed? Why was I playing so many backhands? I've spoken earlier about my slice serve, which is something I continued to work on throughout the year. But part of the reason I sliced so much was because my toss was too far to the right and also very low. So as a consequence, whenever I get stressed or tensed in a match, I tend to miss my serve into the net, sometimes into the very bottom of the net. So double faulting was my friend, or rather enemy, in this match. And at this stage of my short tennis career, I also had no idea about anticipation and court positioning. So whenever she drop shotted me, she almost certainly won the point because I was always late to the ball and I also did not have touch skills yet. So I had no idea what to do with these balls. I remember feeling very frustrated because I was like, wait, I can get to these balls. So it's not like I'm slow. The issue isn't speed. It's just like, what do I do when I get there? I keep messing up. After playing some solid points, I earned my first game point to save me from a bagel. Let's see how that goes. Second set, let's reset. Yay! My first game! I played solid, hit some good ground strokes, maintained concentration, and let's see if I can build on this. Let's see if I can wrangle some momentum into my favor. Oh, I get broken, but I have fought for 2 chances to break right back, so I'm still in this. Great, the second set is already going much better than the first set, and now we're back on serve. That is unfortunate because I am broken once more. Alright, well, the tournament did not go how I wanted it to go. I surely knew I had a lot to learn. I had the recording so I could watch myself back and learn from my errors, but I also now had a very good measuring stick or measuring yardstick for where I needed to be by September to try out for the team and give myself a chance of making it. So I had a very good benchmark for what trials would be like and where I needed to go and where I needed to improve. If you enjoyed watching me fumble through my first tournament, please be sure to like, subscribe, maybe even leave me a comment. Tell me about your first few tournament experiences and how that was. If you have any tips or advice for how you fixed your serve and match play experience, anything you noticed in the video, please do share with me. I really need it and I would really appreciate it as well. Thank you.